Part 3. Avoidance happens many times when persons have had what they claim to be supernatural, religious, or paranormal experiences. For example, if during sleep a person finds himself floating above his body, separate from his physical self, in that moment of awareness he may not have the neural equipment to associate this experience with anything that is vaguely familiar, except maybe for death. Because he has no pattern to match what is presently happening, immediately he reacts with terror and the sympathetic nervous system turns on. Once that occurs, since the body is a primary focus, awareness will move back into the body and he will wake up. He sits panting and scared and thinks that maybe he was dead or at the very least dying. The experience was so unknown and new to him that because there was nothing internally with which to match this moment, the body became threatened and the experience ended. If this person learns about out-of-body experiences by reading a few books or so, he will begin to make important new synaptic connections to form a new neural network so that if the experience reoccurs, he will be more prepared for the experience without feeling the threat of survival. He can then surrender to the unknown experience. Knowledge removes the fear of survival. Episodic memories are how we learn from experience. Episodic memories are about our personal experiences. Please recall that semantic memories are just facts recorded in the brain, information stored as intellectual or philosophical data. The knowledge exists as a possibility, not a reality. We can say that this type of learning of new knowledge is the philosophical embracing of someone else's learned experience. It is information other persons have learned, but that we have not yet applied in our own life. Those are semantic memories. Episodic memories, unlike facts and intellectual information, involve the body and the senses as well as the mind. They require our full participation. We can consciously link the recollection of a time and a place with a person and a thing. These patterns of experience are then embedded in the neurological structure of the neocortex. We have a much easier time storing our sensory experiences in long-term episodic memory than we do with semantic memories, especially when emotions are involved. For instance, when we associate a personal experience with a strong emotion, we create a long-term memory more quickly and efficiently than we would by learning the associated facts, information, and knowledge and storing them semantically. If knowledge feeds the mind through the brain, then experience feeds the mind through the body. When we are involved with a new, novel, and unique experience, all of our senses become engaged, especially if the emotional component is coherent, strong, and consistent. What we smell, touch, see, hear, and taste is sent all at once to the brain through 5 different sensory pathways. When this data reaches the brain, huge existing nets of neurons fire simultaneously, including the ones involved with our emotions. There is an enormous release of neurochemicals at the relevant synaptic terminals, which begins the process of forming new neurological patterns of activity that shape the brain to map the new experience in the form of a new neural net, whereupon a new episodic memory is formed. For the most part, experiences that we have never before encountered provide the necessary amount of uniqueness of cumulative sensory stimulation to produce the cascade of chemicals needed to form new neural nets of the sort that constitute long-term memory. Becoming an expert in any area, possessing a great deal of knowledge and know-how about a subject, involves not only significant instruction in that area, but thereby launching the development of semantic memories, but also significant experiences related to the subject area that personalizes and strengthens the knowledge. When we get to the point at which we can say with assurance that we possess sufficient knowledge and experience of a subject area and are able easily to recall with a high degree of success the associated short and long-term memories, then we can claim to be an expert. Then we can say, I am a philosopher, I am a teacher, a parent, I am a good person. In the next clip, I'm going to give you an example of the sort of what I'm talking about here in terms of the interaction between experience and knowledge.